Hello everyone, welcome to the 100 Q&A practice. We're going to start off with defense questioning. You're going to hear black and white, meaning a police vehicle. The brief for black and white is BLAT, BLAT. And you're going to hear academy, and you can brief that, which is AKD, AKD. All right, so defense will be questioning. Ready? At that time, were you employed by the state? I was employed by the state. In what capacity were you employed? State traffic officer. So that your job classification as of the time of the events that are the subject of this lawsuit was the same as now, except that you were working out of a different office. Is that correct? That's correct. On that date, were you driving a black and white vehicle? No, I was not. What were you driving? I wasn't driving. What were you doing? I was riding as a passenger. And in what kind of vehicle? A marked highway patrol vehicle. A black and white vehicle? Yes. Now, were you on duty at that time? I was. Do you remember the identification number on the vehicle that you were driving at that time? I don't recall the number. What was the type of tour of duty you were on? On the graveyard shift. That's the time. What was the type? Were you on enforcement or what? Routine patrol. Now, can you describe basically what route or routine patrol consists of? It consists of monitoring the freeways for vehicle code violations, assisting the motoring public, monitoring traffic for vehicle code violations. Yes. And you said you were assisting traffic. In what manner? Disabled motorists. Anything else that is part of routine patrol that you can think of? No. Now, regarding this aspect of assisting disabled motorists, did you have some kind of booklet to guide you in how to perform these functions? No, I did not. And from where did you get your instructions on how to perform your duties in assisting disabled motorists? Most of it comes after you come out of the academy. You ride with another officer for 30 working days. On the date in question, had you just come out of the academy? No. Is there any reason why you were riding with this officer? Yes. What was the reason? On graveyard shift, you ride 2 men in a car. Is that policy? Yes, it is. What time does the graveyard shift start? At 10 p.m. Then, am I correct in assuming that your education and training in the duty of assisting a disabled motorist came from whatever training you received in the academy? I don't understand. How did you know what to do as far as assisting the disabled motorists? This is given mostly through your training officer after you come out in the field and start working. When did you come out of the academy? July 24th. Do you remember the officer that you rode with for the first 30 days after you got out of the academy? Yes. What was his name? Officer Jones. Now, am I correct in assuming that you got no training while you were in the academy on how to perform your duties in assisting the disabled motorists? A very short dissertation on it. What do you mean by that? We were to assist all disabled motorists. Okay, switching transcripts. This is going to be some medical. It's actual testimony from a psychologist on a man who went to a bar and claimed that he saw the devil. So then he runs home and gets his gun and starts shooting, and he actually shot and killed a police officer. So this is the testimony of the psychologist or the doctor who saw him, evaluated him. Okay, so it'll be plaintiff attorney. Now, your feeling, I gather, is that as a doctor, you get the information from the defendant. You take the information he gives to you. You are unable to put the instant replay of the television camera on in the back of his mind to see if he is telling you the truth or has any remembrance. Is that correct? That's correct. Now, at the time the defendant was firing into the house, you are not able to determine whether or not he knew he had a .30-06 and he had loaded the weapon, and that he was firing a gun into a building. I don't believe so. Yes. Now, he has indicated to you that he was fleeing from this greenish gray devil and that he had apparently ran home. Is that right? Yes. Now, the fact that he could recognize police officers out there, would that be a fact that you would consider to show some awareness that there were police officers other than a devil? It was certainly taken into consideration, consistent with this peculiar type of episode whereby one can still pick up other facts and respond to them appropriately. I would guess he could have driven his car home had he thought of it and not gotten into any serious trouble. They are able to pick up information and respond. Again, they are responding to the hallucinations. Now, if in the course of the ensuing gun battle, the defendant fires a weapon at the police officers, and when a light is shined in his direction, now the gun battle ceases to be unusual. In other words, the defendant now is in an exposed situation. When he surrenders, if he does surrender, and raises his hands and throws down his gun, at that time, was it your impression that he was surrendering to the devil? No, I think he was able to suddenly comprehend what was happening and again respond appropriately to his situation. When he fired into the house, do you understand that to be the beginning sequence, the firing into the house? Yes. And a woman calls the police? Yes. When he fired into the house and saw the officer and escapes in the bushes, is it very possible that upon discharging that weapon into the house and the arrival of the police, that at that particular time in his mind, he was trying to get away or get out of a situation? I don't think you can separate anger from fear. It's like a cornered animal. He was running and firing back. And he was in a panic situation, you felt? I felt that way. A major factor, yes. He was running, fighting back, and was he not trying to get away? One also could assume that he probably was trying to escape from something. Doctor, just getting back to the emergency room in the hospital, you said something that when a person is down in the hospital, that he is under close observation. You are not telling us that you have any information that when Mr. Johnson was brought to the hospital, that he was not left alone with a policeman watching him for a couple of minutes during this period of time? No, I presented this theory as the probable period. They might not, but depending if they were in a rush situation. Okay, that concludes our 100 Q&A practice. Have a great day.